Beautiful story. Former sanitation worker set to graduate from Harvard. Let's put it up. Full mass. All right. A former sanitation worker and now current law school student, Rehan Staton, will soon realize his dreams of becoming a lawyer thanks to the help of television mogul Tyler Perry. Staton is now inspiring other campus service providers to see themselves as students also. The second-year Harvard Law student has now started a nonprofit organization to support sanitation engineers, janitors, cafeteria attendees, security guards, operational staffers, and other blue-collar workers to receive need-based grants for higher education. After mobilizing other students and friends, he has raised $70,000 to support this mission to not only help people get into school, but be respected while working on campus. Rehan Staton, says life before he entered academia was very different. And this is a great story. He was a sanitation worker in Maryland. His days consisted of hauling trash in a grueling grind. However, there were people around him who encouraged him to apply to attend college. With their push, he applied and was accepted to the University of Maryland. He continued to work with sanitation while attending college, sometimes creeping into the back of the lecture hall in his yellow uniform after finishing up a long shift. On those days, he said there was no time to shower, and plenty of situations could have discouraged him. In 2020, he was accepted into the prestigious Harvard University. With so many people inspired by a story, they decided to donate towards his matriculation at the Ivy League, including Tyler Perry. There's a GoFundMe. All right. Perry heard about his story and stepped up to make sure while he studied at Harvard, finances were not an issue and he could focus on law. He had a tough upbringing, but worked hard at a tireless job to eventually reach his goal, Perry said to the Washington Post. He deserved being able to attend Harvard the last few years without having any future financial concerns. The billionaire filmmaker paid his first year tuition, and now the young man is gearing up to graduate in May 2023 with his law degree. He's the co-founder of the Reciprocal Effect and aims to raise money to support unsung heroes who serve without recognition. He will also fundraise to give out need-based grants to those who are supporting staff, ranks to apply to the college with some financial support toward tuition. The other co-founder, Brent Bates, the person from his old job that encouraged him to go to college, they launched this back in April. All right, April 10th. Let's put him up. Always good to have an ally when you're looking to make a difference. The quote is, "I know what it feels like to be in a position where people would rather act like you don't exist," said Mr. Bates, who also serves as the assistant operations manager at Staton's former employer, Bates Trucking and Trash Removal. Bates and his father, the owner of the trucking and trash removal company, donated $50,000 as seed money for the dream. Now the dream is in motion and working to make a difference. According to his website, the purpose of the organization is to create a more holistic community at Harvard Law School where all in the social ecosystem, okay? Now, the reality is this, and I want to say this clearly, we're running out of time. This person was always smart enough to go to Harvard Law, all right, always. So what was the difference? Resources. That's it. The only difference were the resources. Once he got the resources, he now competes at a level beyond what many would have assumed he could. Don't make assumptions. He believed in himself, yes, but he also had people around him who believed in him also and eliminated the barrier of the lack of resources. That made a difference. That's why policies are important. The distribution of wealth is important because it's about making sure everyone has opportunity. This is what happens. My dear brother, thoughts on this?
This is the one story I look. This is the first story I'm going to show my kids today, because if I can get into my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old, if I can get into their head, even the idea that, look, that janitor, that sanitation worker, the person who's pushing them up, they may be just as smart as you. If given the opportunity, they may achieve more than you. You don't disrespect anybody. You look at all of your fellow citizens in the eye. You say hello. You say thank you. And you don't look down on anybody, no matter what color their collar is, no matter what kind of job they're doing.
That's right. Well said, dear brother.